Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. This is your boy, the coach from the WWE. I would like to welcome you to the very first wrestling podcast in the world to take you on a weekly deep dive into classic matches along with legends of the squared circle. Enjoy the discussion. Enjoy the back and forth. There's so much to get into. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Payoff.
Welcome to an all-new episode of The Payoff. I'm Tom. That's Jeff. Boom! I scared you because we're talking about Halloween Havoc. See what I did there?
Yeah, we're going to scare everybody with this one. And so, yeah, we're a little late to spooky season, but this one is not going to be, this is going to be more of a trick than a treat, I have a feeling. And so...
Did you pick a shitty match for us to cover?
I did. We're together. We're going to watch a shitty match together.
I thought maybe this was like a hidden gem or something. I can't believe you did this to me.
This is your...
See, you know the reviews of these matches. I don't know. I don't look at the reviews.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've seen the stars on this one, and this is not one that we're including because of its high caliber of match. And even though you're like, well, Savage and Hogan, like, how could that be the case? Like, doesn't mean that everyone is 5 stars. There's some stinkers.
It's amazing what happens when you have a guaranteed salary versus Vince paying you whatever he felt you deserve.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. And so it's no big deal at that point. And so, yeah, this one... yeah, it's going to be real interesting. I don't know exactly how this is going to play out, but it is not going to be one that we remember, I don't think. So,
all right, well, let's get into the build.
Oh, it's time for the build.
All right, so we are at Halloween Havoc. It is 1996. We are in Vegas at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. We have 10,000 in attendance. 2 dark matches. Jim Powers is going to defeat Pat Tanaka, and Psychosis and Juventud Guerrera are going to defeat Damien and Halloween. We start off with a Cruiserweight Championship match. Dean Malenko wins the Cruiserweight Championship against Rey Mysterio in 18 minutes. DDP defeats Eddie Guerrero in 13 minutes. The Giant defeats Jeff Jarrett by DQ in 9 minutes. Syxx defeats Chris Jericho in 9 minutes. Lex Luger defeats Arn Anderson by submission in 12 minutes. Steve McMichael and Chris Benoit defeat the Faces of Fear in 9 minutes. Every match is 9 minutes. The Outsiders are going to win the World Tag Team Championships by defeating Harlem Heat. And then our main event, Hollywood Hogan, Randy Savage, WCW World Heavyweight Championship. So that's the reason we're here. How did we get to this match?
Yeah, this one progressively less positive ratings as it went on this one. And so... yeah, I want to look at this. So we're 1996 at this point. By mid-1996, Hogan was full heel. He's with Nash and Hall. The NWO has been formed since Bash at the Beach. You had him beat the Giant for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship and becoming that Hollywood Hogan. Like, that was the persona we were going with this one. Savage, though, he was positioned as one of the baby faces in WCW at this time, opposing the NWO. Not so we know how this kind of eventually plays out, but not a member of NWO at this point. And so he was impacted, though, and felt strongly enough because NWO kept attacking WCW wrestlers. So between Hogan's betrayal and the long history they had together, Savage wanted a piece of Hogan, plain and simple. So in the weeks leading up to this one, you had Savage was framed as Hogan, or not framed, but he was kind of positioned as Hogan's toughest competitor, like I said, because of the history they had. You had the NWO taunting Savage. You had them using Miss Elizabeth against him, who at this time it was his ex-wife. And so having that, and she was in WCW for the first time, and so that was part of the psychological warfare of this. And then WCW was really kind of promoting this as a grudge match. And so playing off that history from their WWE days, the matches that they had over that time, and then also the roles being reversed, which was not something that they had done in the past, because Hogan was always the baby face, and this one, he's the heel. On the flip side, Savage for so long was the heel, and now he's your baby face. And so you're getting this weird dynamic of them swapping what they were and who they were to take on each other in this match.
Well, I'm looking forward to covering this one, and I may regret saying that, but we do have a lot of Hogan and Savage to talk about, so I think that'll be fun. We're at the 2 hour and 28 minute mark. This is the main event, 2 hours and 28 minutes of Halloween Havoc 1996. Jeff, are you ready?
I'm feeling spooky. Let's do this.
All right. It's time for the payoff.
Ho! It's time for the payoff.
All right, here we go. We have Hogan. I mean, I guess this is like the short hair Hollywood Hogan. I don't know if he had to do this for a movie or what the hell was going on, but he has this just horrible haircut. I mean, he basically cut his hair short, and it's kind of spiky. He's got the Hollywood black and white NWO gear on. Ted DiBiase's in his corner. The Giant is in his corner. I mean, he looks great. And then on the other side is Macho Man, babyface Macho Man. He's got the long tights, the orange and black for Halloween. And I don't know, man.
Are you kidding? Hollywood Hulk.
Savage looks like he's ready to take him out, and Hogan's playing the chicken shit heel, and we're going to play this game for a little bit. Now that you told me this match sucks, now I'm expecting it to suck.
Yeah, and
maybe my expectations will be low, and I'll be rewarded.
And this is so that is actually a hairpiece that Hogan is wearing, and so with the bandana on that, apparently it was part of the storyline with Hogan mocking Savage's hair and him losing it as well too, and so which. Not really, but whatever. And so it is actually a toupee that he has on right now.
Really?
Yes. And so that's what he's walking around with. Yep.
Oh my. Okay.
And so, yeah, like you said, a lot of people thought it was because of a movie role, but nope, it is just making fun of Savage.
Well, there you go. So on this show, it seemed like the tag team match with the Outsiders was relatively okay.
Yep.
Six and Chris Jericho was okay. And then it looks like Malenko and Mysterio had a banger. I don't know if we've ever covered that match.
I do think we have.
That's what I thought we had too.
I'm going to go back, yeah. And like you said, that 6 match, not surprised that one went over well. But yeah, for the most part, like you can see, like, you know, when the Giant and Jeff Jarrett are getting marked higher than you, you know we got a problem here.
So just pretty wild. And I know obviously inflation and everything else, but this broke the WCW live gate record. It did 224,000.
Yeah.
I mean, now I feel like every time WWE has a show is probably over $1 million gate. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, certainly their big shows are.
Oh, easy. Yeah. That was for the longest time. Remember, they just kept breaking records and doing all this other stuff. Well, yeah, when prices are what they are, I get that. And of course, everybody complaining about that. But yeah, so.
Let me ask you something I've been thinking about. So, like, you know, Roman Reigns is kind of dipping his toe in the Hollywood thing, and The Rock's obviously a movie star. And here's the thing, and I get it. These guys don't want to wrestle forever.
Yeah.
I maybe I would feel differently if I were doing it, but I don't necessarily see the appeal of Hollywood.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, okay, I'm going to go film a movie role for 6 months, long days in the trailer. I got to gain weight or lose weight for the role. I got to memorize all these lines. There's no feedback from a crowd standpoint. I mean, I don't know if it's like, hey, the money's good, or I got to do something, so that's what I'll do. I personally just don't see the appeal. I mean, does that make any sense to you? Like, I just don't understand why these guys are like, well, of course I'm going to go to Hollywood. I'm like, does that really seem fun?
Yeah, I get It is interesting because so many of them, like that's like they feel like that's their breakout role. Like that's kind of the next step. But is it really a next step? Like you don't need like WWE is, you know, self-sufficient on its own to make you a star. And I get like, hey, you want to be a bigger star, and so they do cross over sometimes, and some less so than others. Like John Cena starting in the Marine, and now the Miz is the Marine, but it's been a long time since we've seen some of those. But I think that part of it is, I think it speaks more to WWE's mainstream appeal and some of that behind the scenes stuff of like TKO and trying to have that crossover promotion. Like, you know, they can't, all the reads from some of the NFL people, they're like Corey Rhodes, like taking on Seth Rollins, like, and so they couldn't do it. But at the same time, I think if they're not getting cast in like dumb roles, like most of us over, you know, the course of history have played a Street Fighter game, and Cody Rhodes being Guile in the next movie actually isn't a bad move. Like, and so I could see that, like, you know, so I think it's interesting, but then look at the flip side. Like The Rock is, you know, Rock's a movie star. Like, well, you look at his last few movies and what people have talked about behind the scenes. Like, he seems like he's a little bit more of a diva than anything when he's out there. And so,
yeah, I mean, think about what it took for him to become Mark Kerr.
Yeah.
I mean, he had to learn all the mannerisms, and he had to, obviously you learn all the lines, and every day he had to go in for like makeup, and they did like plastics to his face and prosthetics, I think it is. It's like, I hear all that and I'm like, I don't know, but I mean, I'm a different person. So like, if it were me and I had all that money, like, I don't know, I like, to me, it'd be more fun. Like if I'm The Rock, it'd be more fun to grow the tequila brand. Yeah. Or like invest in like tech companies. I don't know. I just feel like there's just other things I would do. I mean, I'm sure the performative aspect of it, like if I was a rock star, yeah, I get why you'd want to be in front of a live crowd and do stadium tours at 70 years old. I get that. The acting thing, I just don't get. Like, I don't know, maybe I'd rather write a movie script than be an actor. So, like, creating things would be more fun. And I guess The Rock's doing a little bit of all that stuff, but I don't know. I just find the acting thing, and maybe if I did it, I'd feel differently. I don't know.
So I pulled up, what do we have here? This is the 10 WWE superstars who became movie stars. You had Stone Cold was in there for a little bit. He did The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler. Cena, at this point, I have not watched Peacemaker, but everything I've read is Cena is
That's an HBO series, correct?
Yes. Okay. So in the kind of DC comic world, and so it seems like he loves playing it, and he's doing a good job of it.
Did you see the new Superman movie?
I did. It wasn't.
What'd you think?
It wasn't bad, and so I enjoyed it. And
we went to the theater to watch it.
Yeah,
I've seen it twice. We went to the theater. I saw it in 3D IMAX.
Oh yeah,
which was kind of fun.
Yep. It was a good movie. It was a good summer popcorn flick.
Yeah, I thought it was well done.
What else we got? Kevin Nash. Everybody forgets about him. He was in Magic Mike.
He was Super Shredder.
His first movie role ever. People don't realize that. Under the Mask was Kevin Nash. Yeah. Kane, of course, did some horror movies in there.
That's gotta be Kane.
Yep. Of course, we can't have the famous role in Predator, Jesse Ventura. We're gonna go way back. Yeah, interesting. They have Triple H on this list. I don't remember. It says Blade Trinity and The Chaperone, which I think was that dumb kid movie, or like where, you know, whatever it was, where you had to watch some kid and there was shenanigans. Oh, so there you go. The hair has been pulled off by Savage now, and he is putting it on. Yeah, and so, oh boy, what a look.
I vaguely remember this.
Oh boy, what a look. And so the toupee is kind of pulled off. Hogan bald. Yeah, making fun of each other. Another one real successful, Dave Bautista, of course, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy. He's been out there, and so
he's like almost The Rock.
Yeah,
I mean, not quite, maybe, but like from like a pure acting standpoint, like he's getting there.
Isn't he still sitting on a Hall of Fame induction that it hasn't happened?
Yes,
he was announced and then he's never been in there.
Yeah, he's just such a sourpuss. Like, you know, I think he like didn't want to do it or something, but.
I think it was COVID time and he wanted the
I knew that, but then he's like hasn't come back at all. I don't know.
So now Savage choking Hogan with the toupee.
One thing I feel Vince did more of and Triple H doesn't do at all is like your random Legends cameos. Like Batista coming in to do a Batista bomb to, to Grayson Waller. Like, I feel like we never get any of that anymore.
We haven't, and you and I have talked about this a lot, of like using those legends that can still go, or those older guys, to put over the younger guys. And that's how you build the stars. And so we just have not, well, that was a terrible chair shot. Okay.
Terrible chair shot to them.
Not because of how hard it was. Yeah. I think that it's
Savage has the chair, but I guess they're not going to DQ him.
And now the ref finally pulling it. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just interesting, like how, whether it was just a Vince thing. I think there was probably a loyalty thing. Like, we've all seen the names of the people that were at Vince's crazy birthday party, and so I don't know. Like, maybe they just have more loyalty to Vince. I know, like, Taker did that weird Hall of Fame announcement for Stephanie a while back.
Oh, don't say weird. I thought that was cool.
Did you? Okay.
I got choked up.
I enjoyed the announcement, but I also thought to have him do it like in the crowd like that. Like, I get they had to catch her off guard, but like it was it was weird to me. But it worked, but it was still weird. So I think I saw some Slim Jims on the ground there too. Like with
well, if you hit Randy Savage hard enough with a chair shot, Slim Jims actually pop out.
So it's like Sonic in his rings. Yeah,
yes,
there you go.
Yes.
Got it. Didn't know that. Okay. It looked like Jack Tunney sitting outside.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, that looks like Jack Tunney.
That's crazy.
Is it?
I don't know. Sitting ringside, somebody though.
I mean, if it's not Jack Tunney, it looks like him. All right, so Hogan is got Savage in a bad spot on the outside. I guess there's no countouts or DQ okay. So here's Miss Elizabeth and
walking to the ring.
Divorced at this point.
So
just all awkward, right? I mean, they're divorced, and Hogan and Savage were always up and down in their relationship.
Yeah, and Savage hated this. Like, he was still wanted to be with Elizabeth, but then they're using her in the angle. You got $1 Million Man.
But you're making $1 million a year. So what are you going to do about it?
Right.
You're going to walk down to the ring and do whatever you're told. I mean,
yep. You got DiBiase as well too as ringside. Kind of was distracting at this point. Everybody's on their feet like that, which is interesting. Like nobody's sitting down. I think they keep looking up the ramp like they're waiting for somebody.
Yeah.
But Elizabeth out there as well too.
Yeah, a lot of history here with DiBiase on the outside. I wasn't even thinking about that. So, I mean, you go through all of the Hogan Savage. So WrestleMania 5, the Mega Powers explode. It's that year-long feud that culminates there. It's interesting because, and we were talking about this a little bit last week, but, part of me wonders what could have been of Randy Savage if he wasn't Hulk Hogan's number 2. It's like at WrestleMania 6, you give Ultimate Warrior the big win over Hulk Hogan. And Warrior kind of blew it, but they tried. I just wonder with Savage, and I don't know when. I don't know if WrestleMania 5 you let the heel win, or you just don't turn Savage heel and do the Mega Powers explode. Like, I mean, could Randy Savage have had a multi-year run as champion? But, I mean, the problem was nobody drew like Hogan. But then, you also say, did Hogan need the belt? Yeah. Maybe what if Savage would have held it longer? But, I mean, it's tough. I don't know if you'll ever know the answer to it, but they were just so beholden to Hulk Hogan in this era, and I think a lot of it was he was just such a star. So now Hogan's being your heel and holding Elizabeth, so Savage can't get to Hogan.
She's been in the workout these last 2 matches, getting used that way. This match has not been bad so far. Like
no, it hasn't.
I get the low ratings, but we also got to remember the source.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I mean, it's not
over
nothing, yet. Yeah, nothing bad. I mean, I don't know. It's not Dean Malenko and Rey Mysterio, but they have a decent match. And,
right, they're also not
working the outside of the ring and some shenanigans and all of that.
They're not technical masters.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting into. It's just Hogan and Savage. Like that's what it should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of outside work at this point. Yep.
These two will just always be intertwined. Hogan or Savage wins his title with Hogan's help at WrestleMania 4.
Had a match at 5, yeah.
Hogan turning heel at Bash at the Beach 1996. Randy Savage was in that match. Hogan drops the leg on him.
Yep. Using Elizabeth as the shield again out there. Kind of throwing her into Macho. Yep.
Let me ask you this. Well, why do you think AEW is struggling as bad as they are? And let's just cut through the bullshit and the Meltzer math here. The reality is that a third of the people are watching AEW that were during its peak, give or take. Mm-hmm. So how do you lose over half of your audience?
Yeah, I think it's just how they're booking. I think it is one of those, like, they don't have the stars. I mean, they do. Like, they've got some big names, but they're not using them right necessarily. Or I've been following recently, like, this Don Callis family, which is like NWO.
He's great, though, huh?
He's great, yeah. But they've got like 10, 12 members in this group. And I compared it to, I was texting my friend Kat and her husband, Steve, and I texted her. I said, "This is like NWO at the end."
And Steve's the one that thinks this is all a shoot, right?
Yes, exactly.
He doesn't. No, Cat has not smartened him up to the business yet.
Yeah, exactly. And so,
which is crazy because how old is he?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's in his 40s.
Yeah, so it's real to me. Damn it. Yeah. So, so Hogan going for the leg drop and missing it at this point, and so.
I'll tell you, man, when you hear about all those back surgeries, every time I see Hogan drop a leg, and especially when he misses, I'm just like, oh, God, no wonder his back was just destroyed. Probably wishes he would have had like a body slam as a finisher, right? Like, hey, I wish my finisher was the F5 or not, or anything, right? Or the attitude adjustment or anything else. All right, so now we've reffed down. Oh my goodness. Okay, maybe we're about to lose it here.
To your point too. So I've got StubHub pulled up. We've got AEW Full Gear is in about 2 weeks at this point. The cheapest ticket right now is $54. A floor seat, like where you and I like have sat before, like kind of that just to if you're looking up the ramp on the right, is only $325.
Yeah, and that'll come down.
And so, but I'm interested, like even with the exorbitant prices on WWE tickets right now, they're still tarping and blacking out most of these arenas. And then they got the whole, I were discussing the whole shit with Texas and the numbers and, that getting weird. So Savage up top. Ooh, arm drop. Elbow drop.
Okay, so Nick Patrick.
Yep.
Is he? I'm guessing he's already a heel ref at this point.
Yep.
Okay, I don't think this is when he turned heel, but he's pretending he can't count 3.
He's got a neck brace on. Yeah. Savage.
This is a very simple statement, but is it simply that AEW's creative just hasn't been good enough? Because look, there are 125,000 AEW households out there that want to see 5-star matches, 18 matches on a card, all that bullshit.
Yep.
And that's about the number, right? And they got to about 180,000 buys when CM Punk came in, and people were excited about that, which they should have been. It just feels like, they've got that core audience, but man, I just don't think they've been able. If you think about the history of AEW, how many great, and again, I don't watch it every week, but how many great storylines have there been? Yeah. To me, a great storyline, I think some of the early Jericho stuff. I think of Cody Rhodes and Dustin, their match at the first pay-per-view. There's been some story. There just haven't been a lot. CM Punk coming in was great. But I feel like there just haven't been, and there hasn't been that, and I know they don't come along often, but that bloodline NWO type thing.
Yeah, I think so. I've got a list pulled up here. So they got the media rights deal as a reason why AEW can't kind of break through. the legacy issues. Like AEW's only been around since 2019. Maybe.
Oh, is this it right here?
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, the Giant getting involved. Yeah.
So the Giant chokeslam Savage on the outside. Hogan. I mean, that's the hard part with these, right? Is it's like you're ending the show with a schmoz finish in the NWO, and now there's probably going to be garbage in the ring.
Yeah, you already saw something.
It's just a weird way to end the show, but I mean, it's like baby faces can't win every match or, every time, but it's like, I don't know, you're probably...
Fans seem to not be, like, they don't know how to react.
Yeah.
Like, they're just kind of all standing there at this point.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan. You know, and I think...
They're not even playing music. They're just like both hurt.
It's checking on Savage. What is he bringing out? A jug or like a kind of a big... I don't even know what to call it. Or like
Is he going to wake up Hogan or something?
Yeah, is he going to throw it at somebody? I don't know what we're doing here.
Oh, and then
Giant spilled most of it.
Spilled.
Whoa.
So Giant's carrying this ice water like bowl out, and he just spilled 80% of it on the way in, and now he's going to dump ice on Hogan to revive him? Is that the idea here?
I believe so here. Yeah, is what we're about to see. Yep. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay. Good thing he didn't spill the whole thing. That would have...
I mean, it
would have ruined something. So Hogan's going to bounce this off.
But he is still the champion. Go ahead, Nick. Raise your hand. And why don't you raise Nick's hand while you're at it?
Oh, the idea is he didn't even know he won. Okay. All right. What were you saying about AEW before we?
Yeah, it's management, the legacy deal, and the TV deal, the management being a bigger factor, and the people not liking Tony Khan, but also like people didn't like Vince, people didn't like. So I don't know if it's the booking. I don't know if it's people just don't enjoy. There is good wrestling on there sometimes. It just may not be what people want to see. Like, I don't want to see 8 or 9 belt Mercedes Moné.
No, I think Tony Khan has built a product that he finds interesting,
right?
And unfortunately, what he finds interesting is not interesting to the masses.
Yep.
And it's not right or wrong. It's just, again, your taste is your taste. Someone likes certain movies, someone laughs at certain jokes, someone else doesn't. Like, that's fine. But again, if your goal here is, and I don't know what his goal is. He may say, look, I just want to have fun and own a wrestling company and burn through some of my inheritance, and that's fine. But like, if you're trying to attract the masses, you have a person that's booking for a niche of a niche. And I don't think Tony Khan's a good leader. I don't think people respect him. I don't think he owns the locker room and has the control that a leader needs to in this line of work. You need to command respect. Vince did it one way. Triple H has done it a different way. Other people have done it different ways, and that's fine. The other mistake I think Tony Khan made, again, I don't know if he's cut out to be the CEO of a wrestling company. Okay, I forgot about this. So this is the big surprise.
No doubt about it.
Roddy Piper coming out. Remember, this is not long after WrestleMania 12. Hogan looks like he saw a ghost. So this is pretty cool. I totally forgot about this.
Yeah, coming out to do an interview with Piper, or interview with Hogan.
So Piper's going to confront Hogan.
A small giant, not like we know him nowadays, like kind of in the ring with Hogan as well too.
Yeah. So, anyways, the deal with AEW, and I also think that he should have built a better leadership team of bookers. And I know they're not growing from trees, but it's like, who is a wrestling mind that is out there that is able to add value? If I were him, I'd want a team of 8 former wrestlers, creative people.
Yep.
In the room saying, let's just come up with really cool shit. But I feel like all he does is, hey, this guy versus this guy would be a really cool match, so let's have a match. And this is a story-driven business. So, all right, let's get into the aftermath.
Ho! It's time for the aftermath.
What'd you think?
Not bad. Fluky finish, like you said. Like, I think we were, the match itself wasn't as bad as what the reviews are going to have on this one, but it was serviceable more than like Hogan and Warrior for sure. And so, because that one was real bad. And so, but I think the in-ring wasn't bad. The finish I was not a fan of, but overall it was fine. Like it wasn't anything to, lose sleep over or be upset about. What about you?
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it was not a good match, but it was fun seeing the two of them in the ring. I didn't feel like it was boring at any point. I mean, it was fine. And then you have this Piper ending, which is actually, again, I was talking about how what a bad way to end the pay-per-view, but now you have Piper, who's always over, always got a big pop, and cuts a good promo on Hogan. So yeah, I perfectly fine.
Yeah. So this one, like you said, the NWO celebrating the ring after this match. Of course, Hogan humiliating Savage even more, but their feud continued after this. You've got Piper in there as well too now, and him getting involved. And so eventually Savage would join in 1997. NWO turned heel himself after months of dealing with that. And so for Hogan, this cemented him as like the dominant force among NWO and having that. And then and doing that. And so Piper actually coming in created like a pretty hot program at this point. And so, we didn't see much of Savage, but Piper was out there as well too. So it's just kind of interesting. So this one, PWI, Hogan was 8, Savage was 21. This was from the Observer newsletter. So they said that best match was Mysterio and Malenko, but the worst match was Hogan and Savage. And it was the only one that got voted. So to read some of this here, the ghost of Hulk Hogan pinned the corpse of Randy Savage in what turned into a comedy match, which made no sense given the storyline of this as the ultimate grudge match. Hogan came out wearing a wig and sunglasses and actually worked wearing the glasses for the first 7 minutes, which tells you how physical they worked. Ref bump came, kind of moving on. Yeah, Giant came out after DiBiase pulled Savage out of the ring. Giant gave him a choke slam and put Hogan on top, and Patrick recovered and counted the pin. After the match, Giant poured ice water on Hogan to, quote, revive him so that he could do an interview segment with Piper. And so I think Meltzer just really didn't like this match. And so he gave it 1 star. What are you giving it?
I have this at a payoff score of 4.
Okay. Yep.
I mean, I didn't like it, but it's Hogan and Savage. It was entertaining, and I'm bundling in the Piper surprise at the end, so it helps. I mean, this whole last half hour of the show wasn't bad.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, I'll give it a 4, but like a good 4. It was fine. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm at a 5. Like, it was perfectly serviceable. There was nothing bad about it, but also like there wasn't anything like go out of your way to watch this Hogan match. Like, if you want to watch Hogan and Savage, go to the WrestleMania match. Watch that one instead. But yeah, it perfectly serviceable. Obviously, setting up some stuff with Piper here. So again, nothing. It was WCW at this time. You can tell Hogan booked it. Like, so nothing that I don't expect, but also I'm not disappointed with it either.
Man, this Piper thing just goes on forever, huh?
This is how they're sending him home. Yeah, which just feels weird, but yep. So, and they just keep going.
All right. We have an interesting one next week, don't we?
Yeah, we're going to Lucha Underground. We haven't done one in a while, but this is just, I think we had a request for this one at one point, but also, some top people in WWE at this point that have kind of journeyed all over the place in AEW for a while, in, different promotions, leaving, coming back. And so should be good.
Cool. Well, I'm pumped to cover it, man. As always, appreciate you joining us. We'll see you next week on an all-new episode of The Payoff.